That's it. Anyway, today we're doing um, the Mortis trilogy. Overlords, all those are Mortis, and Ghosts of Mortis. The Mortis trilogy is, without question, the most important arc of the Clone Wars series. I'm not saying it's the best arc, but it's the most important arc. It's also arguably, it's also one of, I would put it, top three most important parts of the new Star Wars, what's now considered canon, because of what it does. So if you were following Star Wars like me since the '70s, there was a million and one pieces of books and comics out there that described a lot of stuff that they got rid of, and but also described Anakin, and it showed you why Anakin was very powerful, the most powerful, potentially the most powerful Jedi, and what his role is in all of this, and why he's so the most crucial figure in the entire story, in the whole Star Wars world. Um, when they got rid of all that and threw it out and became what they became legends, and it was no longer canon, they also managed to basically get rid of the most central part of the story, explaining why Anakin is incredibly powerful, why he's potentially the most powerful, but also his insanely important role as a centerpiece with the whole story. They got rid of that. They jettisoned that, basically. So what the Mortis trilogy does is it brings that back. The most central, important theme of the story, of the entire Star Wars, all the movies, all the books, is his central role in it and what he does. And that is explained, re-explained, if you want, in the Mortis story. I love this idea bubble I have above my head. So that's what it does. So it's important because it has to reintegrate that. Because otherwise, if you don't have that, then you kind of lose the story. I'll sit forward so that would help. So that's why it's so insanely important. So I'll start with what I'm telling you, and then I'll throw it over to him. So the Overlord story and the Mortis story, basically the Force, creatures of the Force who are very powerful, insanely powerful. They want to judge Anakin and his role, and is he really the most powerful? And they find out he is. And what it does is you see this amazing development in Anakin. You say, oh my God, he understands who he is. He had to remove that memory eventually too. But you see the theme that is important in the story, which is that Anakin is not a creator, but kind of a destroyer. But that's the role that the Force wants him to play, to destroy what they consider, I guess, impure or unbalanced, right? So they want to bring balance. Of course, they always say about balance. People always assume balance means that the good side has to win. It didn't mean that at all. It means that it has to be balanced. If you remember in the Clone Wars, as in the movies, you find that that many parts of the government are corrupt. Even the councils become corrupt. So of the Jedi Council become corrupt. So it's all become corrupt. So the reason you have to destroy it is because and start over is because it has become corrupt. And they always talk about a balance. And that's what they mean is balance. It has to be both sides, not just one side. I'll go forward. So that's the thing. So his job is to destroy. And create, because he creates children, and they also help bring the story along. They're also key figures in it. So he's kind of a creator and destroyer, which is not an unusual thing for mythos to be. If you go to mythology, Earth mythology, you have plenty of creatures. Of course, Indra is classic one, Vinya, which is she's literally called the creator and destroyer. So she's there at the beginning and there at the end. So that's what it is. So that theme is explored in the story and explored really well, and you see it. You also get parts where you get evil Ahsoka, which I do not like. Don't like it at all. I left the room. I saw it already once. When we saw it again. He's never saw it before. I left the room because I couldn't deal with it. I don't like her because I see her as a good character, which she is. That's her theme. Her theme is that she's good, that she can see through all this. But you see the warnings are there and everything that she's in trouble if she stays with Anakin much longer, which is why they had to get rid of her. She couldn't stay. Otherwise, she goes down with Anakin, or Anakin corrupts her. One of the two. Anyway, so yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. You had three classic characters in it. You had Ahsoka and Anakin and Obi-Wan. You had the Force itself, talking to itself basically. And I thought it was really well done, and I loved it. I thought it was a 5 out of 5. Now, I'm not saying it's the best arc. I mean, obviously, I think there's some actually, but at the same time, as far as importance, there's any more. But that's not even disputable. So it's important. All right, so I'm all done. I said my piece. All right, you go ahead.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Personally, I didn't see Ahsoka being corrupted not a bad thing because that's just the foreshadowing of the tale. If she had stayed, she would have become corrupted and followed Anakin down the path of yellow-eyed misery and destruction. And the whole time they're foreshadowing things. Anakin goes, kills Padme, Anakin goes, kills younglings, does all these things. And he realizes this, and he senses, well, I need to not do this. I need to prevent my future. I need to change it. So the dark energy man, he basically tells him, if you come with me, if you side with me, we'll leave this planet. We'll destroy not only the Sith, we'll not destroy the Emperor, we'll destroy all these things, and we will completely start anew. And to him, this sounds like a better idea, so he's easily turned to this thought that he can just change everything by siding with this enormous evil. And the only thing I didn't like about the series was the fact that, you know, once the tides have changed, once all these things have occurred, he suddenly forgets all of this, even though he's destroyed everything on this planet. Both the father and the sister and the son are all killed. Everyone is dead. And it's even though balance is restored, there's still a great evil that was shown on that planet that the other two are not going to forget. They still have their memories. So I liked it. It was very important. Like you said, it's a very good bridge between 2 and 3, and it's showing that there's a great power beyond the Force, beyond simply good and evil. It's not as clear cut, and the fact that they are simply categorizing the Dark Jedi as Sith, and they're categorizing the good immortal as oh, she must be Jedi, and it's not that simple. It's the three of them are on this planet, and without balance, that one would outshadow the other, and it would just cause equally amounts of harm if the light was to create more than the destroyer could destroy.
That's why you also have, it's math, but you have three on the planet: the father, the son, and the daughter. You also have three bringing in. So they keep a whole balance, and the show is about balance. As I said, Star Wars is about balance. And if you look at when they brought him to the planet, you have balance of good and evil, and they're on a symbol when Anakin has to be judged on a symbol of balance, of the Chinese symbol for balance, and that's what it is. So it's all about balance, and the fact that they brought in three people, they didn't bring in four because there's three on the planet, and they have to bring three in. So it's always about balance, 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 balance. You have in a way the same thing. You could argue that Obi-Wan is the father, that Anakin is the son, and that Ahsoka is the daughter, right? So you have the same kind of duality. You have that over and over again. So you can argue that point. So that's what they brought it in the way they brought it in. So again, it's a lot of small little points, but it's important. And of course, you do see the owl and all that. That's important, which makes it important because that little owl, that little fellow, it reappears over time in the series, including in the next thing, the Rebels show, which I'm not a fan of, but that's how it is. Anyway, so that's our show. I'm good. Well, I could be better, but that's how it is.
You did like this episode.
I did. Ta ta.
Goodbye.
That's what I said.